Been a part of the Australian team for the last 10 years now. I'm a 4-time world champion. I've been to 2 Commonwealth Games where I've become a Commonwealth Games champion, and I've been to the Rio Olympic Games back in 2016, and I've just recently been selected for Tokyo 21. My career is definitely not done yet, as I hope to add a gold medal next year in Tokyo. I participate in a male-dominant sport, and unfortunately back in 2016 we were given some very uncomfortable seats to ride on, and it was said to increase our performance and aeroness on the track, and it was very uncomfortable. They were so hard and we were training on them day in and day out, and unfortunately I did develop a fair bit of swelling just from the sheer force and friction sitting on those seats for so long, despite it being so hard, because ultimately I wanted that gold medal and I wanted to give myself the best chance to win that gold.
The condition is called hypertrophy of the vulva, which means thickening of the tissue in the vulva. This condition can affect a woman's urination, defecation, periods, sitting down causing pain and intimacy. It also can affect women's self-esteem.
So unfortunately, I'm not alone with having this condition. It is quite common, especially amongst my teammates. 2 of my teammates did get this condition, as well as plenty of other female cyclists within the European peloton. Post 2016, I went and saw a gynaecologist to kind of reduce the swelling and tell her about my condition. I walked away pretty deflated from that appointment, given that she just told me to kind of use the rest, ice, compression, elevate kind of action plan. And so it wasn't until years later that a teammate of mine found a gynaecologist that was willing to operate on her and get rid of the condition, and I thought I'd take the opportunity to go get the surgery done as well.
This condition will not respond to conservative management such as icing or rest. This condition needs a surgical approach, which is plastic and reconstructive in nature. It is not cosmetic, although the end result has to be aesthetically pleasing.
Having the surgery has definitely been life-changing for me. Since having the surgery, my self-confidence has returned. Just something as simple as going to the beach or going to the pool. Yeah, I can go there with confidence now. My advice to any female bike riders out there, make sure you have a very good seat, because there's no way that we should put up with this discomfort. And if you do develop any swelling down there, I definitely would recommend you getting advice, and just, no need to suffer in silence with this condition.